Hello, dear souls. Just really feeling called to do a little live this morning. Just wait and see if there's anyone around that wants to tap in for this chat. Otherwise, I do feel I want to save this one, and I'll pop it on my Instagram page and then probably on my YouTube as well. Just had a nice rise, my nice morning routine after getting back from London. And what I wanted to tap in about is London and the city and the urban jungle. And it was a place that I still kind of call home. I've lived a few different places, and these different places I will always call home. And London was such a special place for me. Now I live in Birmingham, so I took the coach there and stayed for a few days, caught up with some beautiful souls, didn't connect with some other beautiful souls that I would have liked to, but next time hopefully there will be an opportunity. But I wanted to tap into the conversation about being, actually, and how in a city like this everything is go, go, go. And initially that's why I actually loved living there in London. When I first moved there, it was around the time of my divorce. So the reason why I loved it was because I feel now in reflection since leaving London that for me it was a place of distraction. There were so many things going on, from amazing dance classes to cafes that I wanted to see, art galleries, shows, like you constantly sensation overload. But when you're in a place where being with yourself and sitting with your shadows is not where you want to be, these distractions keeps you away from evolving, actually, keeps you away from going within and growing. So I've been here in Birmingham nearly 2 years now, and going back into London, it was really interesting because now I do live a very different life to when I used to live in London. I used to love the go, 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 the high intensity, high energy. Whereas over the last couple of years, I've been really going within and doing some deeper inner work. And actually, Birmingham was the perfect place because it was so quiet compared to London. So much less things happening in terms of the things that I used to like doing. Dance classes, bougie cafes. And it really forced me to go within myself, connect more with nature, but sit with myself a lot, observe myself, reflect, go in, grow, come out of the spiral again and interface with the world. But it was so interesting going back to London because, I feel like everything is a vibration, right? So you can have this big city operating with so many different vibrations, and I can really see it now because my initial vibration when I first moved there was, as I said before, go, go, go. Whereas now I'm in such a, I would say, calmer space that I take my time when I do things. I enjoy just walking, whereas before I used to have my headphones in like a lot of people in London, and I understand why. It's one is to for me, it was like to get me into the energy of where I needed to get to. But it was almost as if I was picking up on everyone else's energy that was also on that same vibe, and we're just like, buzz, 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 got to get to that place. And also a distraction from the sensory overload of the people that you would come across and just even pass by. Signs everywhere, buy this, buy that, flashing lights. And even just coming on the coach out of London, I was starting to get a headache. And I think it's also something I was thinking about. I was like, well, maybe it's the pollution, because I haven't lived there for a while now. When I do go back into the city centre, my body's just like, what is this? But when I was living there, I loved it. And I still do love London. But it was so cool to go back this time because I was really just experiencing London in a whole different vibration. Sometimes a lot of people will say, oh, London's such a unkind place. No one says hello. But this time, I was walking around, and I guess it is really that thing of like what you put out comes back to you. And I was smiling, not overly smiling, just being present. Because I say that because in the past I would probably be overly smiling. Just being authentically me, and people would smile back and say hello and have a conversation. And I was thinking to myself, like, wow, this is like another London that I didn't really get to experience on a deeper level. So it's really it was really quite cool to see and to remind me that you can have a place, a space, a world where so many people are operating on so many different frequencies and resonances, right? And yeah, like even for me, a big thing used to be cafes, like going to like bougie cafes, whereas now I'm just so chill. I'm like, oh, I'll go somewhere where it's even a Costa or whatever, or like I found this really cute Italian place that the old me would think like, oh, they're not going to do good coffee, and they did an amazing coffee. So I feel like it's really just about being open to different ways of being within yourself, but also in other environments that you are used to being in a certain way. So for example, going back to an environment where you used to be maybe really high energy, which is what I was, and then going back into that same environment as this new evolved person, and just having faith and trust and grounding within yourself in your vessel, because your vessel is your home, right? Being home within yourself, that no matter where you go, you can be grounded and present. So yeah, there was some moments where I would just like be walking around and just chilling by a tree and just watching the world go by, and just thinking to myself like, yeah, it's such a go place, and yeah, how can we just be more? How can we be? And what came to me was just the breath, really just being present with the breath when you're walking, when you're having a conversation, when you are going on the tube, when you are just living your day-to-day life. Honestly, when you connect with your breath and you're more present and mindful about your breathing, you do definitely tap into that other vibration or that resonance of peace and being present. So yeah, this was the little chat today. And if you are living in London, I know I have a lot of beautiful souls in there. I guess maybe what a question for me to ask you is, are there moments when you are just living your life in London that you might feel that you are disconnected from your breath? Is it when you go into the tube in rush hour? Is it when you go to work? Is it having a conversation with certain people? When are you out of tune with your breath? And can you be mindful and aware of when you are out of tune with your breath? And then when you're aware of that, that's when you have the power to come back and take control of that and get your breathing in sync, so that you can be more present and in control of yourself. So yes, that was the little chat that came through today. How can we be? How can we just be instead of doing? We're human beings, not human doings. Connect in with yourself, your being, through your breath, and just being more aware of yourself in every sort of environment that you go into. So sending lots of love to you, dear souls. Thank you for listening. And yeah, may we always just continue to keep growing, flowing and evolving, coming back to ourselves always, coming back to the heart space always, that heart space of love, energy and peace. It's that inner heaven. Once we find that inner heaven, we can project that out to the world and create literally heaven on earth. Love you all so much. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.